Welcome to episode 34 of our series on stress. Today we meet Sue Cotter, who had a tough start in life. As a young mom with 3 kids, she understood the worry of putting food on the table. After dropping out of school when she got pregnant, she relied on food stamps to feed her family. However, years later, she found herself in an unexpected role, teaching others who were going through the same struggles she once faced. For 25 years, Sue worked at a community center in Modesto, California, teaching people how to find jobs. But these weren't just any students. They were people on welfare, struggling to make ends meet, just like she once did. Many were single moms. Some were trying to escape bad relationships. Others had never had a real job before. And in their town, where sometimes 1 in 5 people couldn't find work, getting a job felt like climbing a mountain. When Sue first started teaching, she was told to do something that didn't feel right. She had to give her students a list of stressful life events and ask them to check off everything that had happened to them recently. Getting divorced? That's 73 points. Going to jail? 63 points. Having a baby? 40 points. The more points you had, the more likely you were to get sick or even die, or so the list said. Sue watched her students' faces fall as they added up their points. One student might have lost their home, gotten divorced, and had health problems all in the same year. The message they got was clear. Their lives were so stressful, they were doomed to fail. As one student told her, "Why even try? Everything's against me anyway." Sue knew there had to be a better way. She remembered her own journey, how she went back to school in her 30s and finally got her college degree. It wasn't because her life got easier. It was because she learned to handle the hard times differently. So she tried something new. Instead of telling her students that stress would hurt them, she taught them that stress could help them. That racing heart before a job interview. It's not a sign of weakness. It's your body giving you energy to do well. Breathing fast when you're nervous. That's extra oxygen helping your brain think better. Sue knew her students faced real problems. When you're a single parent with only $500 a month to live on, stress isn't just in your head. So she helped them prepare for real-life challenges. What will you do if your car breaks down on the way to work? How will you handle it when your babysitter cancels? What's your plan B when the bus runs late? Instead of just hoping these things wouldn't happen, her students made plans. They learned to think, "This is hard, but I can handle it," instead of, "This is too much for me." Over time, Sue saw changes in her students. They started holding their heads higher. When problems came up, and they always did, her students didn't give up as easily. They still faced the same challenges, but now they faced them with more confidence. One student, who had been in and out of jobs for years, finally kept a job for over a year. When asked what changed, she said, "I used to think all my stress meant I wasn't cut out for working. Now I know it just means I'm getting stronger." Another student, a single mom of 2, started her own small cleaning business. "Sure, I still get stressed," she said. "But now I see it as a sign that I'm doing something important, not that I'm doing something wrong." Perhaps the most powerful story came from a woman who wasn't even one of Sue's students. This woman was listening to a talk about turning stress into strength when she heard her neighbor abusing their child. In the past, she had always frozen in fear, her own memories of childhood abuse paralyzing her. But this time was different. Instead of letting her racing heart tell her to hide, she thought, "This energy can help me do what's right." She called the police. For the first time, she used her stress to take action instead of letting it stop her. Her courage helped save that child from abuse. Sue's story teaches us something important. We don't have to wait until life is perfect to make things better. We don't have to be fearless to be brave. Sometimes, the very things that feel like weakness, a pounding heart, sweaty palms, quick breathing, are actually signs that our body is ready to help us face a challenge. The students in Sue's classes couldn't make their problems disappear. They still had to deal with poverty, with difficult relationships, with all the challenges of starting over. But by changing how they thought about stress, they found strength they didn't know they had. As Sue says, life doesn't get easier, we get stronger. And sometimes, what we think is holding us back, our stress, our fear, our anxiety, can actually help push us forward. This isn't just a story about welfare to work classes in one California town. It's a story about all of us. Because we all face stress. We all have times when life feels too hard. And we all have the power to choose. Will we let our stress stop us? Or will we let it strengthen us? Sue Cotter retired from teaching, but her lessons live on in the hundreds of students who learned from her. They learned that stress isn't their enemy. They learned that they are stronger than they thought. Most importantly, they learned that sometimes the biggest changes start not with changing our circumstances, but with changing how we see them.